and welcome to this Microsoft Word video looking at adding pictures to a document. There are two methods that we're going to look at to insert the pictures, and once they're added to the file, we'll look at basic customizing and editing of the images. Like all objects in Microsoft Word, if you want to add an item, you single click or position the cursor where the item is going to go. Both methods for choosing a picture are found on the Insert ribbon on the Picture button. So I can either select from this device, my computer, or go online and download an image. I'm going to start with my computer with this device. The system always looks at the picture library first. If you have folders, you may want to double click to open them up to see the specific image that you want to use. The picture I'm choosing is right in the main library, so I'm just going to double click to add it to the file. Now, while the image went to, where my insertion point was, I have no control over the size it's going to come in. The second image I want to put in is also stored on my computer, but on my flash drive. So again, I'm going to go Insert, Pictures, this device. Using the navigation pane at the left side, I'm going to select my flash drive and double click for that image. If I wanted to add an image from the internet, I would, when the Pictures button was clicked, select Online Pictures. My choice is to either download a picture from my personal storage area on the OneDrive, the cloud storage, or I'm going to ask Bing to look for a specific picture for me. Now, clipart tents don't necessarily apply to the prairies, but there is something special I would like to show you about clipart that you can do for your formatting. So I'm looking for, there we go, a jaunty yellow tent. Once it's selected, I can then click on the Insert button, and that image comes in whatever size it comes in. When pictures are added to your file, you'll see these selection circles around the perimeter. As well, the Picture Tools ribbon will appear. Now that my images are in my document, I want to be able to make them a more manageable size so that I can then position them around the text. If you do not have a specific size in mind, 5 inches by 2 inches, you can, by putting your mouse on one of these squares, find a two-way arrow that adjusts the image size in the direction of the arrows. So if I drag this horizontal arrow, what I'm doing is squashing the picture, right? It's still the same height, but the width has been narrowed to the point where the tent is just not the same that it was. So I'm just going to undo that change. The same type of feature will happen if I use the up-down arrow. I can reduce the height, but now I've got a squashed wide tent. So again, that's an undo moment. The 4 corner circles let you diagonally change the height and the width at the same time. So you're able to then keep the original perspective or ratios of the picture. I'm just going to move up to my other image. This one I like the size of, no problem. This other one needs to be brought down considerably. Now I could still rely on my mouse, or in the size area of the ribbon, I can use the spin buttons to get an exact measurement. Even though I'm decreasing just the width, you'll notice the height has automatically changed. So again, it's a way of keeping that perspective. So now that I can clearly see the entire picture and the text around it, I can define a wrap or tell Word how I want the picture and the text to appear in the document. When my first image is highlighted, the wrap text button is in the Arrange section of the ribbon. The default, as you can see at the top, is in line with text. So basically this picture is tied to the beginning of the paragraph. Well, I'm going to start off with square. Once you have a wrap defined, you're now able to reposition or move the image anywhere on your page. This image, I haven't yet defined a wrap, so you'll notice I can kind of move, but I don't have the same flexibility that I have with that first picture. Plus you have a different mouse shape, right? My 4-way arrow is the wrapped mouse. 4-way arrow here, but when I click and drag, you'll notice it turns into a drag and drop mouse that really doesn't want to drag too badly. So for this image, I'm going to choose the wrap top and bottom. So there will be no text that will appear to the left or right of the picture. The square wrap that I had chosen for this image lets the text basically surround the picture. Let's make it just a tiny bit smaller. There we go. The last picture, my beloved tent, I'm going to choose the tight wrap. Now we've seen with the other two styles that the computer basically wraps the text in a square around the image. When I choose tight for clip art, what it does is change the wrap to match the contours of the picture. It doesn't work for all clip art images, but it can for certain pictures, for certain purposes, give you a more intriguing way, I guess, of setting up the picture and the text. The other formatting option that we look at in the Word Processing 2 workshop is cropping a picture. And what cropping lets you do is hide portions of an image in your document. So if I wanted to focus more on the flowers in this picture, I can crop out some of the grass on the left and possibly some on the top. I'm just going to wait and see what the picture looks like. So I've highlighted my picture. I'm going back to my Picture Tools ribbon. The crop button, if I click on the image at the top, will automatically add these black lines in the corners, sides, and top and bottom of my picture. So what I want to do is position the mouse so I'm dragging over the part of the picture I no longer want to see. So I'm going to go in this upper right corner, and as you can see, when I drag my crop arrow, it's now hiding anything the mouse moved over. So I'm just going to do this as well. It's not possible to crop in circles using this particular shape or rounded angles. There is another way of cropping that we'll look at that will give you a little more flexibility. This is strictly a crop vertically or horizontally. So now that I'm done, I'm going to click that crop button to turn the feature off. Let's do the same cropping with this picture. So I would just want to get rid of this post. So again, the image is highlighted. I'm going to go to crop and drag that left horizontal line, or that left straight line over the post, click on crop, and it's done. To uncrop a picture, if you change your mind, you can go back to the crop feature and simply drag back. You don't want to extend beyond the black area. I could have also used undo, because that is always an option here. I'm going to turn that simple crop off and look now at crop to shape. So I clicked on the crop drop arrow this time, and when my mouse goes to crop to shape, I can choose any of these normal shapes you draw in for my image. Okay, that kind of works. So at this point, you can maybe play with the size, play with the image, undo it if you don't like. Once you're committed to crop to shape, there has to be some shape applied, and that's why the undo feature works really well. If you wanted to go a little beyond basic cropping for formatting, newer versions of Word have these picture styles frames. I'm going to just click on the drop arrow, and as I move my mouse over the different descriptions, you can see white borders, black borders, shadow effects are added. It's a way of, again, emphasizing what a particular picture looks like. I'm just going to cancel out of there. If I wanted something to focus on the picture but not quite as flashy, there is a picture border option. So I can choose a color. Now let's just go crazy here. And then a weight or a thickness for the line. I can go with dashes if I prefer. So you're very much in control. It's not flashy, but it does give you a way of enhancing a picture. There are, with newer versions of Word, quite a number of adjustment features in terms of color schemes. Whether you would apply these to your image or not depends on the picture, depends on the purpose of your document. There is as well in the arrange section the option to rotate your pictures around. Again, if an image is not quite what you're looking for, you can choose any one of these. If you wanted a partial rotation, what you can do with the picture selected is move your mouse on this circular arrow, and I'm just clicking and dragging to the right. So I can angle the picture if I like. Okay, it's just getting kind of weird now. Again, more flexibility and opportunity to be a little more unique in how your images work. There are more complex options that we have for working with images, but hopefully we've highlighted and taken away some of the mystery of the basics of adding and working with pictures. Thanks for watching this video.